Hey guys, we are finally back with another full tutorial on a wet wispy set. So let's get straight into it. Today we'll be performing a full tutorial on our realistic flat mannequin head. This is available on my website as well as the teardrop mascara wand. So go ahead over to my site today and shop for all of your lash apply needs. On this tutorial, I'll also be using 3 different brands and 3 different curl types. So stick to the end of the video to see which brands I'm using and the curl types that I'm using.
Big mistake, play the game. Should've never given it away. No, I didn't mean to.
So the lengths that I'll be using today are 16, 13, and 15, as well as some 9s, well, a lot of 9s, which I did not show me of putting on the lash out. But please include 9s. It may be a B or C curl. I think I use B curl, but we'll get into the details of the curls and the diameters and the brands, like I said, towards the end of the video. But I'm just showing you the differences in the curls right now. So stay tuned for the curl types, and then you can come back at the beginning of the video and just kind of compare and contrast. But I did use 9, so I just want to make that very clear. So before we jump in, guys, please give me some grace on my 2 broken nails. I'm trying to get the content done no matter what, okay? Now we're beside that. I do want to say that wet set is a set that consists of narrow and closed fans. So please forgive me, you will see one of the fans or some of the fans are a little bit more open than others, as you can see right there. But I just want to make it clear that you don't have to be perfect. Everything doesn't have to be perfect. So as long as most of your fans are narrow, make sure the goal is to just make sure the top of your fans are not open and as wide as most other open fans will be. So narrow and closed fans are what we are aiming for. So let's go ahead and get into it. So whether I'm on a mannequin head or a real client, starting in the inner corners are very important to me, because when it comes to wispy sets, the inner corners, everything needs to be symmetrical, but the inner corners and the outer corners are 2 things that need to be identical when it comes to wispy sets. The middle you can kind of sometimes play with. As long as the spikes in the inner and outer corners are symmetrical, then you will be okay. So right now I'm going back and forth from adding my spikes. And in the corners, I did 2 9s and then a 13. And then I'm going to also do that for the outer corners. 2 9s and then a 13. And right here, I am adding 15 and 16 spikes. I started out with the 16s and I'm doing the 15s behind them. Some of them I'm doing only 15, some of them I'm doing only 16. Really don't have to be so picky with it. Like I said, it's art, so kind of still be creative and still open-minded with it. Art isn't perfect, but just make sure that the spikes are lined up with each other to make them look bold, and make sure your direction is pointing up and they're all going in the same direction. Towards the end of the video, I will also write out a more legible lash map for you guys. And remember, when those spikes want to lean, you see how it's not lean, make sure you get them in check and get them together, okay? Because we don't want no leaning spikes. They need to be pointing up, straight posture, as straight as possible, but no leaning spikes, okay? Here I am adding 2 9s, like I said, and then I will follow up with a 13 to make sure my inner corners are identical as possible. My first demonstration of the spike, which I will be demonstrating this at a better angle, so stay tuned, it's getting better, guys. But I swipe it through the slit, like I said, and I make sure I keep my tweezers clamped on the top of the lashes as well as I'm sliding it through the slit. Hopefully that makes sense. Make sure the isolation is also on point. You want to see the lash visibly up and down on a mannequin head or a real person as well, to make sure we are not flashing 2 natural lashes together. So I always tell my students, go up and outward. You don't always have to have the lash in the middle, but you definitely want to have the lash by itself. Give it some alone time. And this is what we are looking like so far. Me personally, I don't know if this works for other lash checks, but I like to, like I said, do my inner and outer corners first. But I definitely like to apply my spikes after my inner and outer corners. But I like to compare and contrast the longest length I'm using to the shortest length I'm using. And that gives me an easier kind of like map out way of seeing where I need to place like my 13s, which would be the middle length. So I always kind of start off with the inner outer corners, spikes, and then the shortest length I'm using. And now we can fill in with the middle length. Now here's the top view of me pulling the lashes off the strip. As you can see, I still have a straight base at the bottom. I'm keeping it together, doing no fanning, pulling it off the strip all together as well. Gently sliding it through the slit and keeping it together. Here is another demonstration. So another thing that I was doing to try to make sure my fans are coming out closed as possible was just dipping them in the glue slightly. The reason why I'm not really putting too much glue or trying to put as much minimal glue as possible is because the more glue, the heavier the lash extension. So you just want to keep that in mind to make the lash extensions, to keep the lash extensions lightweight while placing them on the client's natural lash. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and get into another view for you guys. And here I am attaching or placing a length 13 closed fan on the bottom layer of the lash line. So if you did not know already, when it comes to wispy sets, it's imperative for you to place all of your shorter lengths on the lower 2 layers of the lash extensions. Doing this will make the lash line appear more dense, so you do not want to put the shorter lengths on the top because it's not going to blend well. All of the spikes or all of the longer lengths need to go on the very first layer, or even the second layer is fine, but I feel like putting them on the top layer definitely helps them stand out, and when the client opens their eyes, the spikes are the first things basically that needs to be seen. So for this portion of the video, I'm just literally going to go ahead and speed it up because all I'm doing is filling in the set with the shorter lengths. I didn't want to overcrowd the set with too many 16 or 15 length lashes because then it's going to defeat the purpose of it being wispy. That's another thing, in my opinion. I feel like wispy sets do require a little bit more shorter lengths than longer lengths. That's why in most cases, for certain wispy sets, a lot of artists just use no more than 7 to 8 spikes. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with using more spikes than that, but you just don't want to overcrowd your set because the base of the wispy set is what is going to make the lash line appear dense, but having more longer lengths in it would just give it the appearance that all lengths are the same all across the eyelid, if that's making sense. So I would suggest adding more 13s and more 9s in this case than more 15 and 16s. So I'm going to leave y'all alone and just go ahead and let y'all watch me work. Please don't forget, if you have any questions, drop them in the comment section below because I'm wanting to talk to y'all. If you have any suggestions on anything that you feel like I should do or I can do better, feel free to politely drop them in the comments below.
Can you find the lies? Do you feel the lies? Look in my eyes. Do you mind the lies? Do you feel the lies? Look in my eyes. We both know it's wrong, but you're still coming over. Even when you're gone, the feeling just grows strong. Really feel alone, but you're still
with you. So after I took a few pictures, like as you can see, I'm in a whole nother outfit. I decided that it's a little bit too many spikes, like I was saying. So as you can see right here, I'm going to take this one off because one spike can make a big difference, okay? So I did not do this correctly, but I want to show you guys right here. Boom. That little lash right there is, I would pull that away from the extension, and that is how the correct way of removing the extension, and that is called the banana peel method. So disregard how I'm pulling it off all janky, but in the real world, you would pull the natural lash away from the extension and peel it off that way, and that is called the banana peel method. So I am also going to add a shorter length, or a few shorter lengths towards the end, and we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. So here's what we are looking like right now. I hope you guys are satisfied with the end results. I like this set. Let me know if you do try this set on a mannequin head or even an actual client. I feel like this is nice for the summer. I feel like wispy sets are definitely in right now. So yeah, here are some videos in different lighting, and I thank you guys so much for tuning into another video. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you are not already. Follow my Instagram at Sybaritic Spike and at SS Lash Supply. I do sell all things lash supplies, lash trays, adhesives, tweezers, mirrors, everything you need. And I also do post tips for beginners on both my personal page, my personal lash page, and my lash supply page. So let's keep in touch, guys. Talk to me because I like talking to other lash techs, and give me feedback. Like I said, I am open to criticism. Just be polite. But yes, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you guys have a great Memorial Day.
You wanna be my number one, you're not acting like the main thing. I let you pay my number two, you barely made the second change. Put you somewhere where no one can find you. Mansion out in the sticks with nothing around you. Katy, Texas, Dallas, Texas, you know a different environment. You got desires, I know.
So here are the brands that I use. Now for the curls, I use 9 and 16 for B curl. So for the spikes, I use 16 B curl, B as in boy, by VIs, and then also use 9 for my spikes by VIs and B curl as well. For the other spikes that I did, I used Another Fucking Lash Shop trays in 15 CC curl. Her products are bomb, and so is her content. I love Another Fucking Lash Shop products, so go shop with them as well. And then I also use Elaine Beauty in 13 J curl. So 9 and 16 VIs, B curl is in boy. 13 J curl by Elaine Beauty, the Velvet Mink. And Another Fucking Lash Shop, Velour Cashmere trays in CC. So here's the lash map. I will break it down in detail for you guys because how it looks is not how it really is. So on the ends, the 9, 9, and 13. So 9, 9, and 13. In the middle of those two, I would suggest maybe adding a spike. You don't have to, but you can add a spike in the middle of those two, just to give it a little bit length in the beginning, and you don't want it to look choppy or just look short long. So you want to kind of blend it. So that's why we want to put short, maybe one long, and then go back to short, maybe one long. So with the spikes, these are a total of 9 spikes. I know I have 16, 15, 16, 15, but I do it as like so right here, 15, 15. Probably did one spike for the corners, the inner and outer corners, but when it got to the middle of the eyelid, I did do 15, 16. So when it comes to these spikes, I would double up on 15 and 16. So this is 15 and 16, 15 and 16, 15 and 16. And then when I did this, I would double up on the spikes and apply them directly in front or behind each other. So 1/16 maybe will be on the very first top layer, and then on the second layer I will go right behind it with the 16 so that they can line up symmetrically with each other and be like in line with each other, not side by side but in line with each other. So right on top or right below the first or second spike. So again, 15, 16, 15, 16, 15, 16, 15, 16, 15, 16, 15, 16, 15, 16, 15, 15. In the beginning, in the ends, corners, 9, 9, 9, 9, 13, a 13. In the middle of those, add spikes too, because you just don't want to just start off, like I said, short, going straight to long, short, going straight to long. You want to make it blend. And for my base, of course, I mixed in with 9s and 13s. Hope this helped and makes sense. If it did not, remember, get at me in the comment section.
Playing with me, oh boy. Take me over. I know you got the run. Oh, take me under. I want you to be mine. Oh, you can get none by run, baby, bye. I can get the real love all your time. I just need your heart to see. I just need the air you breathe. But you can get one.